Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I'm Tom Vassell.
I am Z Garcia. Good morning to you.
And I am Stephen Bonagor. Hey.
It is September. We're in the last third of the year. Wait, I said that last week, didn't I?
It's still true. Somehow still applies.
Yes, that's true.
Somehow it still applies.
We're all a little older, a little wiser. Some of us older than others. Some of us had birthdays recently. And
that is true. And Z got me an amazingly cool present. Bought me a hot sauce sampler kit. Basically, all these little hot sauces. I think it was like 30 in it or something. Really neat.
You love hot sauces, so I figured I'd
I do. And this actually made me less sad about Amy going to college because she's not there to steal all my hot sauces at this point in time. I used to hide a couple of them because I just called her yesterday, or she called me, and she said, I'm almost out of sriracha sauce. I'm like, I bought that for you a week ago.
Wow, really? She really loves it. Yeah, she loves the hot sauces.
She really does.
I did not celebrate your birthday, Tom. I'm sorry. But on my podcast, I did say that I wish you to live long and prosper. This yesterday or day before was Star Trek Day. But I wished you to live long and prosper just a little less than I. So, it's all right.
I appreciate that. And if I listened to your podcast, I would have heard that. Folks, welcome to the show.
Shade. Unbelievable.
This particular episode is sponsored by Antimatter from Bard Shark. So last week, if you watched on our channel, we played Antimatter. It is a game in which it's called a cosmic mashup of poker and space strategy. You have a bunch of spaceships and you're flying them all around, collecting resources, doing pickup and delivery to accumulate money, which you then will go in and play poker. Now, here's the catch. Each person is a different group, a different faction, and you have cards that affect you flying your spaceships around and affect poker. So while it is Texas Hold'em poker for the most part, there are lots of ways to mess things up, to force your opponents to bet more than they were planning to change things. So if you like poker and you like a twist to it and you like a space theme, you want to check it out. We have a link to it in the description below. That's Antimatter. That's actually spelled A-N-T-E, not antimatter. This is
like
I guess it's pronounced the same way, Antimatter. But anyway, that is ending in 2 weeks. It's fully funded, so you know that you're backing a guaranteed thing. Check it out.
All right.
Let's see. I think so from the Dice Tower itself, some news a little bit here. We are, because we've been really pushing hard over the last several months, we're going to be taking next week off, so there will not be a live board game breakfast next Thursday. Some of us haven't retired yet.
Some of us are retired and have had time off.
I have all this time on my hands. I scheduled
some of us cry every night
the rest
before
of
we
my
go to sleep.
Wait, what? What? But
I better get Tom some hot sauce. Maybe I can have a day off.
No.
All right. Let's get started here. We got a couple segments, and then we'll come back with the news.
Hey guys, it's Deanna. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another kind of fun educational game that you can play with your kids. I bought this game specifically for this year because my kids and I are going to be studying zoology. And as we were playing it together, I realized that it reminds me of another game that we have, which is Headbands. And so I thought that I would talk about both games and kind of compare them for you so you can see how they're similar but also a little bit different. In Guess in 10, the opposing team will give you the first 2 buzzwords at the top of your card. You can then ask 10 yes or no questions, and you have 2 chances to correctly guess your animal. The first team to collect 7 animal cards is the winner. In Headbands, you start with 3 chips and a card inserted in your headband. On your turn, you can ask as many yes or no questions as you can before the sand timer runs out. If you're able to guess your card, then you replace it with a new one and discard one of your chips. You can continue asking questions until the timer runs out. The player to get rid of all their chips first is the winner. I feel like both of these games are very similar in that you're asking yes or no questions. The games are a little bit different in that the Headbands game has the sand timer, and then the Guess in 10 has a limited number of questions that you can ask. So for that, I feel like Guess in 10 is a little bit harder because you really have to make sure those 10 questions are as good of questions as you can think of. But I also really like the team aspect of Guess in 10 and that you can collaborate with other people on your team. I think for our family, Headbands has been a little bit harder for young kids to play because they will just see what's on your card and be like, you're a hot dog or you're a giraffe, and they'll just tell you what you are. But overall, I feel like both of these games are really fun as far as guessing games go. I'm really hoping that this game will be great for us this year as we're studying animals. So that's gonna be it for today. I hope that you guys are doing well. Enjoy the rest of Board Game Breakfast, and I'll see you next time with another educational game.
Isn't that crazy? Crazy? You're all crazy.
You shut up! Shut up!
You know Herman?
Hey guys, it's Herman Lutman.
Herman's crazy. Herman Lutman. Yeah. Why? Because of this. Invaders from Dimension X. Huh? And look at that. Tiny Battle Publishing. They're even crazier. You know why? Because they published this crazy game. It takes one to know one. And what does that mean? So, this is set in the 1950s, right? And you're on Brea 7, and you're a Marine, and you're digging something. All of a sudden, a wormhole happens, and aliens come through. It's an invasion of the Chaots. The what? The Chaots. The what? What do you do? What do you do? First of all, you have fun. It's a solo game. You play as the Marines, and you try to take over the Chaots. Basically, the game is you start on one side of the map and you try to get over the other side of the map with obstacles and the Chaots. And the Chaots, what happens? They spawn anywhere, different times, different spawn abilities, different attack abilities, and one of them is they fall asleep. So you shoot them when they're asleep, but you might not have any bullets. What happens? Well, you play another game from Dream Team designers Herman Lutton and Fred Manzo. You play Space Vermins from Beyond! This time, the 124th Galactic Marines, which is the same guys as Invasions from Dimension X, crash on a planet. And what's there? Bugs! Lots of bugs! With a queen! And they bury underground, they got tunnels, and you're on top and you're at the bottom. What's going on? One side of the map to the other side of the map. Save the world from the bugs. I don't like bugs. I want to squish them with a stone. Well, you burnt toast. How you gonna do that? Well, this time you're on Graviton Prime and you're a miner and you're deep underground. And the stones start moving. They're stone monsters! What do? You run away! The people will survive, but you get the 124th Galactic Marines to the savior! To the savior, you know what I'm saying. Basically, same game, stone monsters, there's cards this time, different mechanics at play. The Marines do the same thing, maybe have different capabilities, armor or vehicles, stuff like that. This is part 3 of a trilogy. Fantastic. Dream Team, Herman Lutman, Fred Manzo. Tiny Battle Publishing. They're all solo games. Some can be played two people. These games go for like $20, I think. Great introduction into conflict type thing and a lot of fun. Based in the 1950s. Fun. You wanna be my friend? Podfather. Shut up!
All right, everybody, let's start with the news here. Several different things going on this week. One of Z's favorite games, Detective City of Angels.
Like it.
Well, we know you like it. In fact, it's going to come out through retail distribution. I guess originally it was only Kickstarter.
I am assuming that they only sold it. I read this and I had to read into it. They were only selling it Kickstarter and direct. Like you'd have to buy it direct from them, not through Alliance, ACD, all the distributors. So it's a change in their distribution model for this game. Apparently they do, and I didn't know this, select titles they must call them their select titles, that only come out direct from the company. Interesting. I think they want more money, to get a little higher margins.
Sure, but also they're going full time. That's a big deal. It doesn't
Right.
happen to many people in the industry. And so there's no difference here between the retail and Kickstarter versions, except they're changing the box cover and they're going to release single case packs. So
That's fun. That's cool.
it is. I'm curious how much a single case would cost. Like, how much would you pay for a single case? I think $10 would be mine.
$10 is tops. I mean, they're not replayable by the same people anyway. So at the most you'll be able to play it twice. You can play as one of the people going through the case, and then you can play it again. You showing it to a group as the what's it called? The person who's running the thing. They have a name for that.
Okay.
So you can do it twice, I guess. $10, maybe 8, 7. That's kind of where I'm at.
All right. Panasaurus has announced a couple things. First of all, Dinosaur World, which is definitely not Jurassic World. I do notice that they moved away from their pink motif that they had they had that 70s vibe going on with the first one. This one is a much more modern looking game. I'm excited about it because I really like Dinosaur Island, and this is a sequel to that.
This was my favorite part of the press release, is that the similarities end once you get past the collect DNA and make dinosaurs setting of both games. So you do the same thing in both games, but the similarities end there. So I guess you're doing them in different ways. Interesting.
Sure. The original game, I don't know if you played it. It's a dice drafting game. You'll draft these dice, which have different DNA on them. You'll use that DNA to build dinosaurs. Dinosaurs could cause problems in the game, but it's not a huge part of the game. It's a more sedate Jurassic Park of sorts. I almost hope that this one has more deaths. I know it sounds bad.
You want like the bloodier version of it, huh?
What Jurassic Park ended well? None of them. So why should these games do so?
Not well for the humans, at least. That's right.
I love this cover. I think it's a much better cover than the original one, actually. I think it's very captivating. Great look.
Very, very good.
They're also going to be including a side game in here called Roar and Write, and I want to smack myself just for saying that title out loud. But
that's an awesome title for someone who,
and that
as you know,
solidifies how bad the title is.
Who loves roll and writes. Raw and Write is awesome.
I'm sure it's a fun game. It's just I don't know if I like that title.
That's beautiful. Beautiful title.
It needs the word meeple in it somewhere to really drive the point home.
All right. Our next piece of news is about, I'm going to let Bonagor explain this one since it's more businessy.
Yes, and I sent this over. So CMON, as was reported, I assume here, I wasn't part of the show at the time, but quite a bit on Board Games Insider, they had their stock stop trading on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange back in April. CMON is like the only publicly traded company in our industry, even though they're dwarfed in size. They're like the second biggest, but they're dwarfed in size.
Hasbro not?
No, Hasbro, of course, is, but Hasbro's not. I'm talking hobby gaming. In hobby gaming,
Hasbro's not publicly traded?
No. Privately held company. And they're a $1.5 billion company. CMON is much smaller, and still is like the second biggest company probably in hobby gaming. Anyway, in April, their external auditors, came out with what's called a going concern issue. That means, and we talked about this a lot, that they don't believe the company will be a going concern in a year. They will not even be in business in a year due to certain issues that were found. Long story short, obviously CMON didn't agree with this. They've now gone out, gotten new external auditors to now take a look at their books again. The entire going concern issue had to do with the way they recognize revenue for Kickstarter projects. And CMON was transparent. And they said, we collect it, this happens, So since this time, CMON has operated as normal. They've had several extremely successful Kickstarters. Massive Darkness, 3.8 million. Ankh was 3.2 million. So nothing has changed in their operations, but they would like to obviously start their stock trading again. All of what has happened since the cessation of trading has been good for them. So back then I really thought that, wow, they may be going under. I don't no longer believe that. I think that they're probably fine, and they just need an auditor that more readily understands the way that a company that relies on Kickstarter operates.
All right.
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have nothing to add to that. So I hope, other than that, I hope this all works out well. A lot of this is beyond my understanding. Although, did Massive Darkness make more than Ankh?
A little bit more. A little bit. $500,000 or so. They both did. Really they both did huge bank. That's phenomenal numbers. So.
Well, they also had the Marvel United. That did really well too.
Yeah, I don't know what. I didn't go look that one up. I didn't look that one up, but sure, that one also. So based on those alone, they're doing very well. I think that they do have issues in the way they use their revenue stream, probably, and which is what the external auditors were looking at. We can go into this deeper, but if you don't mind, Board Games Insider, we talk about the business side all the time, and we'll go deeply into this. If you don't mind me plugging once in a while, Tom,
you can plug your thing.
It's
that's
your
fine.
Dice Tower Network stuff.
I didn't say you couldn't plug your show.
And I want to plug my new podcast.
Shut up, Steve. One plug per minute. Although Steven has quite a few plugs on his head. Anyhow.
No.
My podcast is called Sickest Burns. And I'll have a rotating cast of characters. First episode is Tom Vassell laying into everybody.
All right. Our next piece of news, slightly off topic here. Asmo Fair. Asmodee is running their own event for retailers, a virtual event, as all events are currently at this moment in time. Cool, I guess.
I also gave this in, and it's a very small story, but it's interesting because of what we're going through right now. So Asmodee UK used to be called Estevium, largest by far distributor in the UK of hobby games. Not even close. They're bigger than Alliance distribution is in the US, and
percentage-wise, yes.
In percentage of their share in the UK. They have attended trade shows in the past to show off their stuff. They actually created their own, very similar to the Alliance Trade Show and ACD Game Days that we have here. All the distributors do it here. But it looks like they've never done that. And this time, not only did they created their own, of course, it was all online because, well, nobody's seeing each other these days. And it was very well put on, it looks like, based on their website at least. It just happened this past weekend. So I don't have more information. What I was going to do is reach out to a couple of retailers I know there to see how it went and what they thought about it. And if I get some feedback, I can mention it next time. But it's just an interesting take on now a trade show going online. And as far as I know, we have not done that here in the U.S. at all. None of the distributors have done that in the U.S.
I am curious, like a lot of different publishers are running their own conventions, not just trade shows, but for the public. And I have yet to hear about one that's been a resounding success. Of course, the publishers all will tout them as successes, right? But from the actual attendees, like I think, who's done it? CMON's done it, Renegade's done it, Portal's done it, different publishers have done it. But I have yet to hear someone go, that was amazing, I can't wait till the next one.
I think that the conventions have done better than the individual publishers' conventions. I
haven't even heard of
virtual game.
Well. I've heard every publisher I've talked to about Gen Con has given me negative feedback. Every single one.
I was actually going to go with Virtual Gaming Con, which I thought went very well.
But that was for the public, right? People playing games together. I think that went well, although I know the numbers behind the scenes, and it was still a fraction of people who go to an actual con.
Sure.
So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, maybe the trade shows, hey, if trade shows take off, maybe you'll see more of this because retailers have a hard time leaving their business to go to one of these shows. That's
actually true. Sure.
Gamma every year would give retailers a huge box of games, like $1,500 worth of games, as an incentive, because some retailers actually to shut their stores down to go because they're the only employee.
Right. Yeah, it's a huge incentive to go to the Gamma Trade Show because they get a massive amount of product to take back with them.
Alrighty, so let's go back to games. Sit Down has essentially just decided that they are a real-time company. You know, all their games are going to be real-time. Maybe not, but that's they're best known for Magic Maze. And last year they did House Flippers, which was a real-time game, and Magic Maze on Mars, which was a real-time game, and Wormlord, which was real-time. So anyway, they have a new game called Rush Out, which even if I didn't know it was a real-time game, you might assume so.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that some people here aren't as big of a fan of real-time games as others, but they must be popular enough for them to keep making these.
I like my real-time games in moderation. Yeah, no, and I know that, but I'm going to say I like real-time games in moderation. I don't want every game I play real-time. So this is interesting. There's certainly, if this is the case, and this is like all real-time line, they're certainly filling a niche out there.
This looks very attractive, I have to say. I think it looks well finalized. It's like a well organized board. I like the layout. It actually makes me think first and foremost of the Pandemic real-time game. It's a very similar look. Colored dice, I'm assuming tied to specific players, perhaps. Speed rolling, placing dice in specific places to trigger abilities, what have you. That's what it makes me think of. That game was pretty good. For a real-time, speed game.
And oddly enough, I didn't care for it that much. And I normally like them.
So I'm hoping that this is going to be interesting at the very least to me. I'm sure it'll be just fine for folks that enjoy the genre.
One of the first games that Z and I played together, and we're really glad that no one has video of this game, is Dungeon Fighter. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I remember. You might not have footage of this, but I certainly do.
So Dungeon Fighter is a very unique game that Creative Creations made. I guess Creative Creation / Horrible. Now they're separated, so I guess it's just Horrible. In which you are bouncing dice onto a target to go through a dungeon. You fight monsters by throwing dice in his target, but the game will have you throw them in different ways, like bouncing them on or behind your back, or maybe have someone else hold your hands and throw the dice for you while jumping at the same time. I'm just putting up random, never happened scenarios. And so that's the game. They came out with 4 expansions that were on the elements: air, earth, water, and fire. I played them. I like it. It's really silly. It's really niche. You're gonna know if you like this game or not probably in the first. Well, probably for me describing it actually. I really like it.
So what is this then?
This is a relaunch of the game, but apparently it's 2 standalone games.
Okay.
I guess that you can mix or match. You can get both of them or just one of them. This seems a bit iffy to me on their part, if only because this is a lot to put in. If you think the game is going to sell well, to make 2 different copies is twice the risk, right? I guess.
Yeah, right.
But they are Kickstartering it, so
they're all previously. Oh, okay, so it's Kickstarter, but this is all previously released content as far as we know right now. They might have stretch
that
goals
one
or whatever,
board.
right?
One of those boards looks different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming some of it has to be new stuff. I don't know.
Tom, you said you liked it?
I really do.
This
but
could be
I recognize that it's silly as all get out.
This could be our next Bonacor versus Vassal challenge, dexterity challenge.
Game. It's a co-op game.
Oh no, I'm not cooperating with you. No.
Alrighty. Wingspan. Has anyone heard of this game? This is an indie game that no one heard of. It came out last year, but it is now coming to PC and Mac through Steam in a week, which hopefully means the iPad version is not too far behind.
Yeah.
But this looks really good from this one screenshot. That's for sure.
Looks very pretty. Who's what platform? Not the platform, but what design house is doing the digital version? It's not Asmodee Digital. It doesn't say it anywhere, so I can't see.
I'm looking it up. Monster Couch is the developer. Whoever
if it was Asmodee, they would have come out all on the same time. So it's probably not Asmodee Digital.
No, it's called Monster Couch, and I'm looking at their other games, and they're like board games. There's Tetsumo Party, which looks like you're going in different shapes to not get hit by a wall, and then Die for Valhalla, which looks like an adventure style game. So Who knows?
Interesting.
All right. So now let's travel back in time to the 70s, which is apparently the date Friedman Freese got a graphic designer from to make this next game called Fayum. No, I'm not apologizing. This game
got chilly in here.
This game might be good, but oh my word, that is a boring-looking board. That's
cold.
Everything about this game is bleh.
We're going to be talking about Friedman Freeze a little more later on.
Oh, interesting.
Just so you know, because you're an animal, Tom.
Oh, Friedman Freeze is a fantastic guy, and he's a great designer. I'm just saying the graphic design of this game is boring. This is an engine-building, deck-building game, and I hope it's good. Although it's pretty long. It says 110 to 140 minutes, which is a very weird window. I guess it could be just shy of 2 hours or a little bit over.
I just made note to talk to my boys over at 2F about this.
Oh, whatever.
I'd never heard of it. No, I've never heard of it.
Oh.
Yeah. You're out of the industry now. People have stopped talking to you.
No one talks to me anymore.
Nobody's going to call you up and give you a heads up about anything anymore. The only calls you're going to be getting are from doctors from here on out, Steven. We need you to come back in.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
For a follow-up. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
Okay, but anyway, I'm actually looking really forward to this game. I just don't think it looks good. But I think it sounds fun. I like deck building, and Friedman Freeze has some pretty interesting ideas. This is essentially their Essen release.
I do agree that this looks like the cover of the first release of Raw. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like one of those games that came out around that time. They all had that cover. If they were about Egypt, they had this cover. You know? Yeah. All right.
I'm going to let this one die. Go ahead.
All right. Japanime announces some new titles. The first one is The Last Brave by Seiji Kanai. And for the life of me, when I saw this, the fact that it's Japanime surprised me because this looks like it's from AEG and part of their Big in Japan line. Especially since Seiji Kanai is the designer of it. But hey, I mean, I like his stuff. I'm looking forward to this. It's 3 to 7 players. So it's a battle royale game. So here's one we can fight.
This is a micro game. Like
I'm assuming it's Seiji Kanai.
Well, he doesn't only do those, but $10. Yeah, that's the reason I said it's a micro game. He probably has cards and some shits. I don't know anything else about it. Kind of has an interesting look to it. Very simple.
All right, when is that coming out? I believe it says
November.
It was first released in 2018 by Delightworks. Did I play this? Oh, now wait a minute. Hang on. It's called The Last Brave.
Never heard of this one.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. Seiji Kanai has become a little one note for me, honestly. I like his stuff, but it's a little repetitive.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm interested in this one. I guess you're right. It came out in 2018, but there's almost nothing on Board Game Geek about it, so they must have just picked it up. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Do you like ramen? Well, if you go to college, you do. So this is a game called Ramen. It's twice as good as just ramen. This is from Brendan Hansen. And where is the company? Oh, it's another Japanime game. Okay. I do like the artwork on the cards a lot.
I like that they have no border, seemingly, anyway. I like that the art goes all the way to the edge of the card. Looks pretty good. Looks like a magazine cover or something.
Very, very anime-looking cover. Love it. I mean, that's just that really embodies that. The ramen theme is cute. The sixth game about ramen in the BGG database. But the first one since 2018. Not a big trend, but a very tasty one. That was in the press release. I didn't make that up.
Got it.
Good.
All right. The next game is Kyoto, which says money makes the world go down. This is actually a game about climate change. It says it's in their tagline. They say that it's not a wagging finger style game, but it's about putting you into the shoes of the decision makers. So you have to go around and make decisions with other people in charge of nations. But each round that you fail to make these decisions, you inflict severe damage on the planet. So this reminds me, I don't know if you remember Days of Wonder made a game back in the day.
Terra?
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, sure.
I own that. I haven't played that.
Bruno Faduti game.
It was like an experimental style game because it was a co-op game, but it wasn't really a co-op game. It was one of the first semi-co-op games I ever played, and showed me that semi-co-op doesn't work because one person could just be greedy and tank the whole game.
That's right. That's right. It didn't work very well, but it was an attractive game. You're right. Very similar in concept to this. You know, we're going to show you a...
Uh-oh.
We're going to show you what?
Z is frozen.
We're going to show you what? You missed that. We're going to show you what?
I don't know what I said. I'm going to show you what?
Show me the money.
Show you the money. No, I like this cover quite a bit. I think it's a well-made
That
cover.
is a cool cover for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, like CO2, which we did, the Vitel Lacerda game, it's not trying to be preachy. It's just giving you a topic that is very currently germane to the world, and then you make decisions based on it. So I support games that like give you a real world topic to deal with.
Sure. We'll see how it works. When's this coming out? Is this another Essen game?
Yeah, October.
Yeah,
So
mid-October.
what's the story with these Essen games? They're just coming out, I'm guessing?
Sure. I guess they're going to release them online, and you can get them through different places. Maybe Essen will have a way to buy them, or I'm sorry, Spiel will have a way to buy them. I haven't heard much announcements about that. We'll have to wait and see.
There will be ways to do it, but not everyone's going to do that. Not every publisher is going to.
I gotta say, I hope it's not necessarily like the Gen Con. I was very dissatisfied with the Gen Con store. I bought the games from Gen Con. I paid full retail price for them. It took them well over a month to get the games to me. How is that? Where's the benefit of that at all? I could have just, some of them I could have just got online. You know, so hopefully Spiel does a better job.
All right.
All right, Inca Empire, the card game. This is from Alan D. Ernstein, who's known for Incan Empire, which was a reprint of his original game, Tahuana Tensuyu.
Tensuyu.
Bless you.
Sure.
Come on, man.
So there's a card game version of this one coming out, and this is coming out also in October 2020 from Board and Dice. Hobby World has a game called Furnace, which is I like that name for a game for some reason. That's just a cool name. Furnace. Burn it. It's a 30 to 60 engine building Euro game in which you are running 19th century capitalists, as opposed to every other game that does that. But I do like that cover a lot, actually.
Sorry, I'm stuck on the previous story because I looked at the cover of that Inca Empire game, and his name looked misspelled on it. And either it is misspelled.
Oh man, I think it is.
Or BGG has his name erroneously. I mean, like I was very thrown off by that.
His name.
Their image, right? This is their image.
I hope it.
So Z started the big scandal of 2020. I don't know anything about it.
Sometimes
it wasn't me for this once.
Sometimes an early box cover gets posted with, maybe it's not final. Back to Furnace. Furnace looks
Furnace.
very nice. I like it's a very, very period looking box cover.
That is a cool box cover for sure. Yeah, I like it. The sepia kind of look to it is great.
All right. Let's see. Last piece of news here, and that is Portal Games says it's the year of Moloch.
Yes, humans.
Now, have you played the Moloch expansion for Hiroshima Hex?
What do you mean? Yeah,
it's on your desk. No, it's not on your desk at home. It's on your desk here at the studio.
Obviously,
from Portal.
My man, come on now. You mean for what? For what game?
For the Hiroshima Hex 3. I guess it came out originally for the first one. This is the expansion for the new one.
I mean, Moloch is one of the 4 armies in the core box. I guess I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways.
Hey, Violet, go get me the box that's on Z's desk that says Moloch on it. Moloch. Well, I don't know what it is now. Is this a new...
I have no idea what you're talking about. So anyway, this is a new box that's going to have, I believe, some new artwork for the 4 original armies, right? But then also player aids, from what I understand, like those nice plastic ones have been including in their games recently, like Alien Artifacts had them, and the fantasy version of this game had them. They're these nice sort of plastic player aids. They're going to have those for every army that's been released for this in the box. You don't get the armies, but you get that player aid. So it's basically a master box collector's storage, right? That's what this is meant to be.
And to give you a little background story on this, because obviously I talk to Ignacio all the time.
Why?
Why? Because of my podcast.
Is he still taking your calls?
Every week we talk. Right. Because of that, in the original Neuroshima Hex, they had the date September 5th, 2020 as a huge date in the lore of the game. So they re-released this whole thing on September 5th, 2020. So it was they're calling it the celebration of the Morlock in their universe and stuff like that. So I think it's a really cool thing. Yeah, it's just like in Terminator, right? In Terminator, they did the same kind of thing, which was really cool. Right. So anyway.
I was over there doing a little top 10 list as a guest on that day.
Okay, I was actually incorrect. Z, no Moloch came in. Troglodytes.
Got it. Yes, I knew that was the new thing. Okay, cool, no problem.
Alrighty, well this is exciting if you like Moloch and all that sort of thing. Alrighty, that's our news. Let's do some more contributors, and we'll be back for another game show.
Hey everyone, we are back with another Name the Game segment. Now last week we left you with this clue. Now were you able to name the game? This week we're talking about Endeavor Age of Sail 2nd Edition from Burt Island Games and Grand Gamers Guild. If you guessed correctly, have those hash browns smothered and covered. Now after the first playthrough of this game, I could understand why it's toward the top of so many people's favorites. In Endeavor Age of Sail, players compete to occupy cities and connect trading routes all over the world. They work together to grow their industry, culture, wealth, and influence to earn the most victory points. Now, at a first glance, this game can look a bit intimidating. There's a huge double-sided board and each player has their own player mat. Regions on the board fill up pretty quickly, and players will ultimately have to work together to open other areas on the board. What actions you can take are based on the buildings you build on your waterfront. Each action has the potential for you to pick up tokens. Now the brown attribute tokens progress one of your tracks on your player board. The higher up the track you progress, the better buildings you can build, the more population tokens you'll earn, and so on. The blue tokens give you extra actions so you can take on your turn. So, you start with some area control as you try to connect trade routes, splash in some set collection to try to move those tracks up. Next thing you know, you're the governor of North America. And that's just the base game. There's also exploits included that enhance the game even more. It plays 2 to 5 players and can take around an hour to play, maybe a little longer when you're still learning. We highly recommend giving this one a try. It has quickly become a favorite in our house. You can even find us over on the Tabletop Rebellion Discord. We'll teach you how to play. That's all the time we have for now. Here is your clue for next time.
What's up everyone, my name is Melissa McCack and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I want to talk about Starbound, the video game. Starbound is sort of, I guess, like a retro-style sandbox game, kind of like Stardew Valley, only this one takes place in space. And you're going on adventures and you're doing your own sort of thing, crafting things and stuff. Particularly, I'm talking about this because of the feel of the game. I used to play this game with my brother and our friend, and it was just a chill time. And we would go around, and there was this one part where we were trying to pretty much make our own garden and figuring out how to get our crops to grow by like letting the rain come down on it. It was sort of a puzzly, chill, nature style of a game, which was cool. So I want to connect that to Takanoko. Takanoko is also this really like chill, puzzly type of game, which is really cool. It's super charming with the panda and everything, but you're trying to grow crops a lot of times, right? Like you're trying to grow bamboo and you have your gardener like moving around and sometimes the rain comes down to make the bamboo grow larger or bigger or whatever it might be. So yeah, I really like it, and that's really why I'm comparing the two, just because both of the feels that the games give to me. So anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you could check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
and then the robots are going to rise up and take the whole Earth and rip. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to 10 for 10. Today we're going to be talking about Friedman Freaks games, much like Yam or whatever that was called, but not that one because that one's not out yet. I've got here, fellas, a list of the top-ranked Friedman Freaks games, as well as a few others that are maybe not ranked in the top 10. We're going to be shaking up these little pieces of paper. I'm going to be pulling them out. I'll tell you what the game is. You will simultaneously hold up a little card, right, that says it's in. Yes, it is in the top 10. Or it's out. It is not one of those 10. If you are correct, I'm going to give you a point. I got poker chips here. I'm going to make a little pile for each of you.
This is his highest ranked games. So you take
highest ranked.
That have his name as designer. His highest ranked games. Got it.
Just went through BGG. Top 10 are in. The other ones are not, okay?
Top 10 we want in or out. Got it.
That's right. You want the ones that are in. Now, if it is in, and it is your turn to pick, much like last time we played this, you get to decide if you want to keep it. If you think it's one of the top 5, you want to keep it.
Oh.
If it's not one of the top 5, you want to give it to the other guy, okay? And as soon as one of the two of you has 5, you can take half. The other guy gets the others, and then we see how you did. Again, you want the higher ones more. Those are worth, the number 1 is worth 10 points, okay? So here...
There's a pretty easy rule here. If it was co-published with Stronghold, it's out. Otherwise, it's in.
Wow.
That might or might not be a good guideline to use.
May or may not, Tom, and... Never mind.
Here we go.
I'm not going to say that I should have an advantage here, but I don't because I don't keep track of rankings. I really don't. Go ahead.
Fuji Flush. Here we go, fellas. Pick your card. Is it in or is it out? Are you ready? And show me. Great. Mr. Tom Vassell said out. Mr. Stephen Bonacore said in. Fellas, it's out.
Ooh.
So Mr. Tom Vassell gets a point. Stephen Bonacore is being much too optimistic about Stronghold games. And that one we don't need to worry about anymore. It was, if it makes you feel better, Bonacore, 12. It was 12.
12 was good.
Here we go. Next up.
I actually slightly hesitated there.
Here we go. Next up, Fast Flowing Forest Fellers.
Oh.
Fast Flowing Forest Fellers. Here we go, fellas. You got it. And show me what's going on. Okay, Stephen Bonacore saying out. Tom is saying in. Tom, you are incorrect. It's out. This is 15. Ooh. It's 15. So, Stephen, you got a point now.
So much for nostalgia.
There you go.
That is correct. Here we go. Next up, fellas, we have Friday. The solitaire card game, Friday. In or out? Show me.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is in. Indeed, it is in. Now, let's see here. Who's going to be our starting player for actually picking? Who won last time, fellas?
Age before beauty. So that'd be me, because Tom is gorgeous.
If it's between me and Bonacore,
I won. Yeah, if it's between us, so what does that mean? That means I go first or I go second? Second.
You get to pick, whatever you want.
I get to pick. Oh.
So Friday, you want it or you want to give it to him?
Ooh, I will take Friday.
You're going to take Friday. Okay, I will give you Friday.
Takes it off, at least.
There we go. So, Tom, the next pick that's in will be your choice.
Got it.
Here we go. Next up, fellas, Fearsome Floors. Fearsome Floors. Can you feel all the F's forthcoming? Fearsome Floors, in or out? Go.
Whoa, we keep going opposite. I love it.
Very interesting. It is, in fact, in. So, Bonacore, no point there for you. Tom, you get one. And now, Tom, would you like to keep it or give it
to Mr. Bonacore?
You're giving it to Steven. All right.
It's a good game, though. If you haven't played it, folks, it's really fun.
I like it quite a bit. I have it here. It's really good.
It's fun
It's
stuff.
silly as all heck.
Unless
someone
takes it serious, in which case you need to eject that person and go back to silliness.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's too, but it's got some nice puzzly nature
I like
to it.
building the monster, and it's great. Go ahead.
Next up, Familia.
Oh.
This is the 2-player card game, slightly deck building-ish, or hand building.
Familia, IA, like that, right? How do you spell it?
Yeah, G. It's a.
Oh, it's like Italian. Familia?
Yeah,
Mm.
the G in it. What is going on? Somebody's sending out Morse code. Hold on, I'm getting a note. Familia.
Right.
Okay, here we go, fellas. In or out?
Familia.
In or out? Tom, it's out. You are both correct. It is out. A point for each of you.
All right.
This was number 13. I do like that one. That's actually probably one of my favorite games of his. Next up, Black Friday. Black Friday, which is a stock market-ish kind of game. Black Friday. Fellas, put on your thinking hats. Is it in or out? Time to take it to the stock market.
I'm ready.
Tell me. You are both wrong. You both just lost all your money.
I like Black Friday. It's a good stock market game.
I've actually not played that.
Next up, Finished.
Wait, what number was it?
16.
Okay.
Finished, which is one of the newer games. This is a solitaire game in which you are trying to arrange paperwork. A fantastic theme. Here we go. Tell me, in or out? Go. You know it. Sure is.
It was his follow up to Friday, which of course is the highest ranked solitaire game on Board Game Geek, but it didn't do as well.
Well, it sure ain't finished. He should have finished after he did Friday.
Really? We're going with that, huh? Okay.
What we're going with. Here we go. Next up, Power Grid, the card game.
Oh, wait.
There's like 4 Power Grid things, okay? Calm down. Power Grid, the card game. Is it in?
That was great. I was going to do the same thing. I just didn't move as fast. All right, I'm ready.
Go in or out, card game. Go.
Okay.
Tom is correct on this one. It is out. It is 11, though. This would have been almost in.
This is one that surprises me that it wasn't more popular. I thought this would take off. It got very little buzz. It got a lot of pre-buzz, but then once it came out, I didn't hear anything about it.
True. It kind of vanished a little bit. Yeah, it did. Hey, look at that. Speaking of Power Grid, this is Power Grid Factory Manager. Ooh. Power Grid Factory Manager, second most exciting title for a game after Finished. Is it in or out, fellas? Go. You are both correct. It is indeed in, Mr. Boncor. It is your pick for whether you want to keep Power Grid Factory Manager or give it to Tom. What would you like to do? As of right now, you have Friday and Fearsome Floors.
I will give it to Tom.
I would like to refuse that.
All right, next up, fellas, we have got Power Grid.
Oh, come on.
Yes, you're both correct. It is in.
Is it my turn?
It is indeed your turn.
Not cool. Very not cool.
I will take it.
Not keeping it.
Cool.
Yep.
That was if he wins based on that. Not cool. That's all I'm saying. That was luck. He got it. He was lucky.
I'm not arguing that. I was sitting there the whole time thinking, I just hope Power Grid shows up on my turn.
Speaking of luck, 504.
Ooh.
504, fellas. Is it in or is it out?
Oh.
Yeah, I had higher faith in you than you have in yourself.
Yeah, but Stephen Bonacore has seen the numbers, and you know what? He's right. It's out.
I was trying to be nice.
Trying. It was a dumb idea, but you were trying. This is number 20. So 504 is out. Here we go. Next up, Power Grid, the First Sparks. Power Grid clearly was very popular as a brand, and I love how people get upset that Pandemic has done weird themes. But Power Grid, the First Sparks, is about cavemen. Power Grid? Really?
They had
All
their
right,
little fires they were doing. All right.
Yeah. Okay, in or out? Go. It is in, unfortunately for you, Tom.
Oh, man.
It's indeed in. Power Grid, the first sparks. Mr. Bonacore, would you like to keep it or give it to Tom?
I'm gonna keep this one. I think
You're
it's
gonna
top
keep
5.
I was going for the set Power Grid. Thanks a lot.
Oh, it was going for the shoot the moon scenario. Got it.
The
If
moon
you get
on
all
Power
the
Grid.
Power Grid, there is secret bonuses there.
See, thanks a lot.
Next up, Fabled Fruit.
Ooh,
Fabled
tough one.
Fruit. You ready?
All right.
Show me, fellas.
Absolutely.
That is correct. Absolutely.
Absolutely
In. Very well. And Tom, this is your choice. Would you like to keep it or give it to Mr. Bonacore?
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to give it to Mr. Bonacore.
I will accept that one because you're wrong. Thank you.
He
I'm not
has
wrong. I gave you something. That's the last time you get a gift.
Gave me top 5. Thank you.
So here we go, Steven. Right now you've got
I
Fabled
think.
Fruit, First Sparks, Friday, and Fearsome Floors. Tom, you have Power Grid and Power Grid Factory Manager. Next up, we've got Terra, that Tom loves to play with knowledgeable people, so they may cackle at him. Terra, is it in
Wait,
or is it out?
Wait,
fellas?
yeah. What, isn't we just talked about Terra? That's for duty. But he made one called Terra also?
Yeah, the follow-up to Fauna was called Terra.
Oh, that Terra. Right.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, go.
Oh.
It is in, Steven. You might not know it, but it's actually a popular game, a trivia game, the best trivia game since Fauna, according to Friedman Freeze.
I'm actually going to toss this one to Mr. Bonacore, which gives me the remaining 3.
Well, actually, isn't it his pick?
It is my pick.
No.
Yes.
You just gave him Tom.
Oh, that's right.
Fabled Fruit.
No.
That's right.
Right. So I give that one to Tom.
But maybe
You
that's
should be
what I
careful,
wanted.
Thomas.
Maybe that's what I wanted. And this was all a sabotage play.
Eat your hat. All right, we've got a few left here. Here we go, fellas. This is, depends what you want to name it, but it's either Felix the Cat in the Sack or Felicity the Cat in the Sack, in or out.
Ooh.
It is in, so a point for Tom there.
Okay.
Not only is it in, I'm going to take it.
Wow.
You're going to take it. Okay, there it is. All right, let's keep going here. We've got, for this next one, come on, buddy, open up. Fresh Fish. This is the original release, 1997 Fresh Fish.
Ooh.
Is it in or is it out? Show me. You are both incorrect. This is 19. You might be thinking of the reissue. All right.
Well, the first one was one of those games that was cool to like back in the day. I remember playing it and thinking, what? It's very thinky. It's a weird game.
It's like one of those Frank and Doris games from back in the day. It was really cool to like those.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't know Frank and Doris.
Frank's. Okay, never mind. I don't have time to explain it to you. Let's go.
Get with it, Steven. Get in the industry, man. Fauna.
Terra.
Is it in or is it out?
Oh,
fellas?
Fauna is the one you're. Okay.
Yeah, Fauna. Go. That is correct. You are both right. And it is Steven's choice, I believe, right now, right?
Take it.
You're taking it?
Fine. Who's taking it?
I'm taking it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that means you've got them all. The one left over then was, Tom, Copycat.
Okay.
And we are now going to, so you each have several points, bonus points.
How much we have? What's our bonus?
Well, the bonus, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9.
9,
For
4.
you, Steven. 3, 6, 9, 11 for you, Tom.
Ooh.
We'll just make it real simple. Tom has 2 points.
I like simplicity.
2 points. All right. Now, Mr. Bonacore, here are your titles. I'm going to give you a bonus 5 points if you can arrange them from the highest to the lowest.
Oh,
your titles are Friday, Power Grid First Sparks, Fabled Fruit, Fearsome Floors, Fauna. I will not be speaking any F words for at least 2 hours after this.
That's good, because this is the Dice Tower.
Power Grid.
Power Grid First Sparks.
Yeah, put that as the first one. Then go with Friday.
Okay.
Fauna, Fabled Fruit, Fearsome Floors.
Fauna, Fabled Fruit, Fearsome Floors. Very well. Now for you, Tom, you've got Felicity, Copycat, Terra, Power Grid Factory Manager.
Power Grid's definitely
well,
5.
Obviously, Power Grid is the first one.
Okay. Power Grid.
Man, this is tough.
Hard.
I might be way off, but I'm going to put Felicity as number 2.
No way.
Felicity.
Then I'll put Terra, then Power Grid, then Copycat.
All right.
Pretty good.
Well, Power Grid the First Sparks is 4.
That's a good start.
That's not. That's a bad start. You want 10, then 9, then 8, then 7. That seeing as to how there are 4 cards left, you're wrong already. All right.
Oh, okay. I had the numbers reversed in my head. Got it.
Right.
All right.
Power Grid was First Sparks was 4. The next one here,
9.
Friday.
9.
Friday is the second highest rank.
I knew it.
That's his second highest game. Okay, then Fauna is 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I want it.
And then
Fauna.
after that, you've got Fabled Fruit, third highest, man.
Woohoo! Wow. Well, that
And
one I
then
did not know.
Fearsome Floors is 5. So, Steven, you have no bonuses if we're going that way. Tom has 2, right?
Yeah, but he
You got
has
8.
a bunch of points.
You have 9, the 7. I mean, the 9, the 8, the 7.
He's
That's,
won.
21.
Thank you.
21 plus 9 is 30 points, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tom, here we go.
I can't even get 30 with the
Power
remaining numbers.
This is 10.
10.
Oh, yay.
And then this next one, Felicity, that's 3, man.
So I lost because I can't have.
So that's it. This is the lowest. Terra is
Terra,
the lowest.
okay.
Barely got on there. And then Power Grid Factory Manager is actually 6. Pretty good. Copycat is 2. I feel like you might lose, Tom. You got 2 bonus points. 10 is 12. 3 is 15. 16. 17, 18, 24.
30 to
So
24.
sorry, Tom.
Congratulations.
Not bad. He didn't quite do it. You did give up a really good one, Tom. You gave him the number 8, I want to say. Fabled Fruit or 7? There was one you gave him that was like one of the higher numbers, and you gave it to
Sure.
him.
Well, I thought Fabled Fruit was in the top 10. I just didn't think it was that high.
It did very well.
I was
All right,
surprised
guys.
none of the fast forward showed up.
No, they start coming in after 20, actually.
Okay.
Fortress, I think it would be the highest rated one. I think I saw it, but it didn't write it down. So there you go. Stephen Bonacore is the winner. Let's keep on.
Got to keep
All
that
right.
up.
We got a few
Keep
more
on
segments, folks. Stay tuned. Here we go.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Maple University. Today we have Math Rush, the game that Tarrant is really good at and I'm not that great.
That's not really true. It's a nice
Cooperative game.
It's a cooperative filler. It's real time, and it's a bit of a brain melter, more
yes.
than you'd expect.
My brain definitely melted.
Yeah, it sounds simple. There's just these little cards like this. This one, the team just has to lay down 6 numbers in ascending order. This one, just 10 numbers in descending order.
But the numbers are in equation.
Yep, so every time you've got a card, you have to be adding it up in your head or subtracting it. And all the cards come in these style. There are even some which add 3 numbers together.
Probably good for family as well, although, I mean, we couldn't solve it. But, you know, it could work in a family situation or educational purposes, like a fun educational thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are some cards which have additional restrictions, so you can only use addition cards on here or odd-numbered cards on here. And
it's a real-time, frantic, cooperative.
Yeah, you've got 3 minutes per round, and you've got to complete as many of these goals as possible. And you know, you never until there's simple equations, but it's not until you're put in that rapid thinking situation and trying to get cards out of your hand so you can draw new ones that your brain decides that no, I'm not going to do maths today.
Yeah, and that's what happened to my brain. Like, I was like, Taryn, what is this? What is like 5 plus 4? And I was like, my brain freezes. I was like, oh no, we're almost out of time. Yeah. But we enjoy it still.
Yep, I think this is a fun filler that it does play at family or educational level. I think it plays at meetup level as well.
And we are Meeple University on YouTube and also on the Dice Tower for Have to Play, Pocket Playthrough, and Live Playthrough. See you next time.
Hi everybody, I'm Doug Jr.
And I'm Doug the III.
And you're watching a Fellowship of Meeples with Doug and Doug Gaming. So today we're at our friendly local game store, and thankfully things are kind of starting to open up. We're able to have our game night again with certain restrictions in place for safety, but we are able to start playing games again with other people. And so we want to talk about another type of game that you might want to introduce to your gaming group. This is not really a mechanic, but rather a genre of game, which is
co-op.
Co-op, or cooperative games where everybody's playing towards the same goal. So we're going to hit the shelves here and find a couple of co-ops to show to you. All right, well, we found some co-op games, and this is, I think, one of the quintessential co-op games, Pandemic, which is a great game where everybody's playing together to try to cure these viruses and eradicate the viruses. They all have different abilities, different actions you can take. It's a great game. It's got a lot of expansions available, and there are different variations on the whole thing. This is by Matt Leacock, and this is an excellent co-op game for beginners. You can introduce this to people. It's easy to teach, easy to learn, but very challenging to play.
Wrath of a Chardalon by Wizards of the Coast is a Dungeons & Dragons dungeon crawling game where you and your friends go through this puzzle-like self-building dungeon or cave, and you slay monsters, and there's an entire book of like missions in there. And it's actually super easy to play, also hard to master though. It can be very tricky. But that's the great thing, that they have lots of missions that you can choose from. They have different difficulties, so it's super fun.
So you'll find lots of co-op games out there. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but we really enjoy these. So be sure and check out some co-ops and introduce them to your gaming group.
Well, we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Yeah, baby!
Hey!
Tom! We did it, Tom! Basil, stop speaking!
Tom was saying some bad things just now. Bad things.
And Stephen Bonico will never recover from that.
I'm just saying. All right. Hey, folks, thanks for watching us. We'll be back later on today at 2 o'clock Eastern Time with Tim from Meepleville, and also who runs Dice Tower West. And we'll be talking about our top 10 trick-taking games. So be prepared for some of that. Thank you again to this Antimatter. You can check out the link for that. Don't forget to go over there and find out a cosmic mashup of poker and space strategy. Kickstarter running for the next 2 weeks. You can find the link in our description below. All right. Well, I need to go re-rank all my Friedman Freeze games and learn where they are, apparently. Thanks to everybody who came on and watched. We'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Garcia. Thank you.
I'm Stephen Bonacore. Thank you all for coming.
Oh, that's a good tagline. Let's leave that one in.